Thank you, Crystal, for that awesome introduction. So, like Crystal said, we do have a great session ahead of us. And I'd like to start by checking in with our partners from Milvue and Coreline. We at Blackford are very excited about the partnership between Milvue and Coreline. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your partnership and the drivers behind it?
Well, we cover basically different geographies first. We have a common interest, of course, on chest imaging. And finally, we decided that we should have some kind of reciprocal distribution agreement. So Coreline is covering Germany, they are covering the US, they are covering, of course, Southeast Asia, where we are not present, and we are covering France with a very strong implantation in France, part of the rest of Europe and Canada, where I live. So this is an exciting new partnership because we are proposing each other the solution of both companies, and this raises significant interest in specific territories where none of us were, both of us were known.
Thank you, Martin. I'm sorry.
Now, I can say that's absolutely what we would say as well. And I think where the strength is was cooperating. We have more possibility to reach out to customers. We do things together. It's quite simple.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you very much. And back to you again, Martin. If you could tell us, how can AI impact lung cancer screening programs?
Now, it can do, first of all, a lot. If somebody thinks about AI, they think automatically about automation, doing things easily, quicker, speed, all these kind of things. But it's in fact much more what we can do. Because the fact is, if we start running lung cancer screening programs all around, it means we will have much more scans and much more workload on the radiologists. And by introducing AI into lung screening programs, it also means they will save a lot of time, because it's easy to implement a program for lung cancer screening, in between brackets easy of course, but it's really difficult, for example, to get many more radiologists in a short period. So therefore I think it's really important to have AI included in lung screening programs. And that's one thing, but secondly, what is even more important is to raise the quality bar. By using AI in the morning does the same as using AI in the afternoon. If a radiologist is working in the morning, fresh, had a coffee, everything is fine. But at 4 o'clock, if you have seen so many already, there is a chance that it becomes more difficult. But a computer, AI, will continue. And also AI can be used also to check the quality of screening programs. So when all the screening programs, all the screenings are delivered, the AI can go over all these patients and see if it was indeed correct what has been done. So I think that's the most important thing for AI within lung screening programs.
It's very interesting. Thank you for that. And back to Isa at Milvue, could you tell us more about your FDA clearance for your chest solution and future plans to expand your coverage on that?
Yeah. Well, we got our first clearance this year with FDA on chest triage, right. So basically pneumothorax and pleural effusion. And we expect, of course, to go further because we cover a lot of other diseases, chest diseases in Europe under our CE mark. So nodules, for instance, and opacities as a whole. So it's very important to go beyond this initial clearance. Nodule is a disease which is often an incidental finding on chest x-rays. You take the emergency workflow, you got a chest x-ray for I don't know which reason, suspicion of rib fracture or suspicion of opacity, whatever you want, and you find nodules. And we've proven that the discovery, the sensitivity of AI on nodule discovery is higher than, I'm saying sensitivity, is higher than the radiologist one. So AI has this ability to make a pre-screen of chest x-rays and indicating whether there is a strong suspicion of a nodule fracture. And this is, of course, something we want to be able to propose in the US.
Excellent. Thank you, Aisha. And finally to you, Steve. So we know that one of the challenges with lung cancer screening and lung cancer patients is follow-up. So can you tell us about the difficulties with follow-up for lung cancer patients and how your solution might help with that?
Sure, thank you. And also, thank you to Blackford for inviting us to talk here today. We're obviously a big supporter of our work through you all to clients to create these complete solutions, so thank you. About 20% of all radiology reports require some kind of follow-up, and 60% of those 20% don't follow up. And there's a variety of reasons why that happens. Our system here in the US is very siloed, and it's very difficult to navigate through the process that happens. What we do at Agamon Health is we read a radiology report after it's been signed. We use a special form of AI, NLP, to analyze the report to determine whether a follow-up is needed or not. We look at the findings, so we're a findings-based solution. And then based on the individual findings, we create a customized workflow for those cohorts of patients. And that's a really important thing. So we don't only work with lung cancer screening programs, we actually work with incidental pulmonary nodule programs as well. We have a variety we're in the context of today, we're really talking about LCS, but ours is a general radiology follow-up program. But for IPNs, we actually identify the size of the nodules that have been placed in the report, and thankfully the great work that these guys do on both sides of me for accurately identifying those things. What we do is we will create custom workflows based on the clinician's desire for how they want it to work. So if there's a lung nodule that's an incidental nodule that is greater than 10 millimeters, we can send that to a pulmonologist directly, not necessarily to the referring provider. Those kinds of things that can actually impact the patient and the quality of the patient is a really important aspect of what we offer in the market. For LCS specifically, we actually manage an entire LCS program for our clients, meaning we'll identify patients that should be part of an LCS program. We will take those patients and submit them to the ACR registry if that's what our clients want. We'll send letters out to the patients, which is required by an LCS program, and we'll ensure that they follow up based on their lung RAD score.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you all. And I think we may have time for just a few questions. Do we have any questions for our panelists?
Sure. The question that this gentleman, Dr. Tungdi, asked was, do we have any results from our program? I wish, I'm really happy that he said that and I didn't plant this, but today we're announcing, we published a case study today that showed from a regional imaging center client of ours how they were able to increase the adherence for their LCS program by over 100%. And that is a completely automated solution. And that's a really important thing. You would imagine that people in an LCS program would have a higher adherence rate to come back for their exams than the general population, but that's not in fact true. And so what we have found is we've been able to double their adherence rate as a result of their deploying programs. And actually patients who have a lung RAD score of 0, 1, and 2, we were able to increase it by 150%. So the people who have a longer period of time between exams, we ensure that they come back more often than they don't. And that actually has huge impact on their ability to go and take the advice of the doctor and adhere to the program that the doctors are recommending. Saves lives.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Any other questions for our panelists? No. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here.